Well, see, here's the thing. I've never met an unemployed plumber, licensed plumber.
Okay.
I've never met an unemployed licensed electrician. I've never met an unemployed licensed carpenter. I've never met an unemployed licensed welder. I've never met an unemployed licensed auto mechanic. I've never met an unemployed person who had a skill that can pay bills.
Okay.
I know hundreds of unemployed people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, and doctorate degrees.
And now I know this is not true. Parents aren't getting paid while their kids on these drugs, are they?
It depends.
Okay.
Well, the school automatically get paid once they get an IEP.
So once you get school gets paid, but all the physical parents?
Parents can apply for Social Security supplemental income, disability income based on their child having that disability. Wow. You're not guaranteed to get it, though. Okay. You follow me? And now, because the government knows ADHD is a scam, they know this. So they are not approving SSI checks for our single mothers the way that they used to. So I'm telling black women, stop getting your child diagnosed with ADHD, conduct disorder, opposition defiant disorder, because that money is not necessarily coming through for you.
And one last question. If they are diagnosed later in life, does that come back to bite them in any way?
Oh, it can. It can prevent you from enrolling in the military. Certain jobs can also refuse you. And you also know that in most states, you're not allowed to carry a firearm if you are diagnosed with a current mental illness. It's the same thing with the marijuana card. A lot of people don't know that if you have the medical marijuana card, you cannot legally carry the concealed weapon in most states. A lot of black people don't know that. Yeah. By getting that marijuana card, you're disarming yourself from being able to protect your family.
Wow, didn't know that. All right, so let's move to another topic real quickly. I'm almost done. What are your thoughts on the cancel culture? Because we have so much of that happening now. Michael Irvin, Lord knows that was the case. Kanye West and even Kyrie Irving sending out a tweet that he didn't even create the documentary, but yet all the repercussions of the world came down on that. And did you just hear about Angel Reese?
I just heard. I'm driving over here.
Yes. So,
who did the exact same thing that the white girl did and got repudiated? Here's the situation. Everybody know that Dawn Staley from North Philadelphia, her South Carolina Gamecocks, they was robbed of the game the other night. They could have played better, but the referees stole the game from them and gave it to the all-white Snow Bunny team. I get it. Yeah. Then they come right back and they lose to LSU because they were favored over LSU. Nobody thought LSU would win. LSU pulled it off. So now we have to do what? Be sore losers and repudiate the leader of the LSU team because we lost. You lost the game. Okay, nobody said that when that white girl was doing little gestures, when some of the white girls were snatching a ball away from the South Carolina players. Nobody said nothing. But when we win, we're thugs and we're gangsters. When white people win, it's because they earned it. That's one of the biggest narratives in this company. If black people got it, it had to be given to them as an act of charity. White people get it, they earned it. Total racism.
All right, so
now with the Michael Irvin situation, I thought that was very unfortunate too, because he did absolutely nothing wrong when you look at that video. But what it shows you is that you are guilty before you even go to a trial. Yeah, you're guilty until proven innocent, if they'll even allow you the opportunity to be proven innocent.
They wouldn't even show him the video.
Absolutely.
And he said ESPN asked him to leave. Right?
Yeah, they cut him off the Super Bowl cover. Just because of the allegation of a white female, your whole life can be destroyed. You just saw with my brother who played in Creed and Ant-Man. What's Jonathan Majors? Just because of the allegation, we will destroy you. That speaks to the white female privilege in this country and the oppression of the black male. And for the life of me, I don't know why our black men keep going after these snow bunnies, because nothing good is coming out of this. They're literally destroying people's careers every day.
You focused on those. I was going to ask you, what are the fine points of focus for any organization that deals with people of color? In other words, if you are organizations like the Black Caucus or the NAACP or the Urban League, what are some of the pillars that they should be addressing? And for us lay people, if we see they aren't, we can use as barometers to know that this may not be the best vehicle for our interests.
If nothing else, education and economics.
Okay.
If nothing else, because you can't move forward without them. Okay. If you don't prepare black children in the leadership of the community and how to effectively rebuild the community, there's no future. If there's no investment in the children, there's no future. And right now, the black community has almost no investment in their own children using their own dollar. So that's number one. Economics. We have to understand that the reason why we got so much crime in the major cities is because black men need work. A lot of this crime is based on economic desperation. And every time we have a conversation about crime, they talk about more prisons and more police. Everybody knows that does not deter crime, but it does give jobs to white people. You see, it's an economic scam is what they're running by putting police and jails into operation when we talk about crime. Where's the entrepreneurial opportunities? Where's the economic stimulus packages? Barack Obama gave trillions of dollars to Wall Street. You ain't got a couple million for black males whose ancestors actually built the country. So I think black people have to step away from the matrix, flip this on itself, look at itself, and redirect our focus away from civil rights to economic rights.
And of course, that was the rage back in the 60s and 70s, of course, when black men in general made more money in the Humcos and Kimberly Clarks and those corporations than generally probably we are making now. With all these college degrees.
When they took the industrial building trade programs out of the high schools, that was the beginning of the mass incarceration of black males. They knew what they were doing. They did it on purpose. And I think that there needs to be a concerted effort by city council, by the Tennessee state legislature, by the governor, by the mayor, to put the building trade programs back into the school. And when we say put them back, we don't just mean a few plumbing classes. I want to be clear. Because what a lot of school districts are doing is they're giving the kids a few plumbing classes, a few carpentry classes, a few electric classes. Give them the full curriculum required by the state that allows them to sit for their license after graduation. We want the full training, preparation, not just no introduction. Give them the preparation, because that's what the white boys are getting.
I just went and looked because I wanted to. I'm big for unraveling. You know, once you figure out how we got there, then we can figure it out and do something different. You know, to do something in the future. And I was wondering, where were the guards? Where we sleep in the 60s and 70s and 80s when they took the vocational stuff out of the school? And I read an article that talked about the fact that they felt that they were basically throwing black kids and underprivileged kids into all these VOTEC classes. And when they got out, they weren't well-rounded enough. In other words, they only knew about this one trade, but if there was no job in that trade, they were useless for the rest of the world. And so there may be some validity in that. And I was just trying to figure out how we got there and what should we be focusing on as parents? Because again, to your point earlier, we give the educational institution the full Monty of our kids. We give the church the full access to our kids to tell them we give everybody our kids, and then you know what I'm saying. So how can we as parents begin to help our own selves to come out of this drama?
Well, see, here's the thing. I've never met an unemployed plumber, licensed plumber. I've never met an unemployed licensed electrician. I've never met an unemployed licensed carpenter. I've never met an unemployed licensed welder. I've never met an unemployed licensed auto mechanic. I've never met an unemployed person who had a skill that can pay bills. I know hundreds of unemployed people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, and doctorate degrees. We have to understand that the education we get at the university level is an education that prepares you to work at a white institution. Those educations don't prepare you to be an entrepreneur, nor do they prepare you to service and build infrastructure in the black community. If the white man isn't hiring, then your college degree is damn near useless. If you look at most of the black people you know with a college degree, they're working in the public sector. Teachers, civil service, government, politics, child advocacy, child welfare is something government funded, because white corporate America does not hire black people. There would be no black middle class if the government didn't make one themselves through these public sector jobs. But when you have a skill that can pay the bill, you can always feed your family. You can always feed your family.
I believe that that a lot of the ills are us not knowing ourselves. And so I know you dabble in the metaphysical and that kind of thing of that nature. Black people needing 7 to 14 minutes of sunlight every day. Is that really important? Sun gazing,
it's very
things of that nature?
Especially for us, because we're melanated beings. So the relationship between African people and the sun is a very profound one. This is why in ancient Kemet, our ancestors actually used the sun as the primary symbol for God. Because just as the world revolves around God, everything living revolves around the sun. And without that sun, your melanin does not get activated. Your third eye, pineal gland, does not get activated. Nothing can really survive without the sunlight, including us. But because the white man has taught us to hate our skin color and our melanin, a lot of black people shun the sun. I've seen parents tell their children, come in the house before you get too black. Get out the playground before you get too dark. And failing to recognize that there is a divine energy emanating from that sun that your body needs. Melanin is not a color. It is a chemical, an energy, and a power. And in order for us to be healthy, functioning spiritual beings, we have to have our melanin activated by the sun. Black people cannot survive without the sun. We have to heal our people. The one thing that we often overlook in the global Pan-African struggle is the need to heal. We talk about struggle, we talk about liberation, we talk about education, we talk about employment. Important. But if we don't heal, none of the rest of that stuff will be relevant. And we need a deep healing, because after slavery, there was no healing. After colonization, there was no healing. One of the reasons there's so much killing in the black community is because there's not enough healing. We have to heal thyself in order to fully know thyself.